Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are taking a look at another ZeLoT versus Paralyze game here. I don't think we'll go through every single game that these two have played against each other recently, but definitely want to check out at least a couple more. That first game that we looked at definitely had some interesting things going on, and this one I picked actually specifically because it's again on Pantheon, so I want to see if it might play out a little bit differently, especially considering that little high ground ramp. That I think that's one of the really interesting things about Pantheon in general, because I'm actually thinking to some of the other matchups as well. And because it's such a tight location, I'll show it as the Overlord comes up in case you missed that game, but because those little high grounds are such tight locations, it's like very good defensively, but really good for splash as well. So I'm really not sure what to think. I've definitely, just the fact that it's high ground, it's so hard to attack into. For instance, like, see this little high ground thing here, which kind of defends so many areas, right? It defends this gas base. It kind of defends paths to different main bases and everything. This is actually, these are critical locations that you really have to think about in like Terran versus Terran especially, but also Terran versus Protoss. So, and then we're seeing it like Protoss for Zerg, the fact that, it seemed like ZeLoT had like this base that was very hard to break into until it wasn't. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to see a little bit more of PvZ here on Pantheon. And, Pantheon, I don't think the map is actually going to stick around. For instance, I don't think it's coming back into the next SSL season. But it's a pretty good map overall. I've enjoyed the map quite a bit. It's like it gives a lot of big macro games, which I do enjoy. I think a lot of people kind of enjoy that. Although we're watching ZeLoT right now, so no guarantees there. Anyways, ZeLoT going to be coming across the map. It is a gateway expansion here from Paralyze and a pull first from ZeLoT. So he's going to have a couple lings coming out. Searching all around, the drone going up towards that third base location. Of course, the probe being chased right now by these lings, but he should be able to keep that alive for a very long time. And the ZeLoT going across to put some pressure on and probably force a few more lings. There are a couple more lings. Yeah, in fact, he's going up to 6 here. So I wonder if he's actually going to do anything. Yeah, it looks like he's going to dive towards the main, maybe thinking that these could be drones being made. And if they were, this could turn into something really nice. But, oh, he gets one hit and turns around. Okay, so you see that tactic here once again. And, this is one of the things that I think is... this is something that Protoss players show great skill in Protoss for Zerg specifically. And it's actually something I've thought about a lot for some of these other matchups as well, where... Well, I guess you actually see it in Terran vs. Zerg really often as well, where you'll see Marines like walk out partway, then just turn around and go back. But you see it the most, I think, with ZeLoTs walking out and making your opponent make Zerglings. Whoa, that's a lot of Zerglings, by the way. That is a lot of Zerglings and Zergling speed on the way. So it looks like this is actually going to end up being a Zergling all-in. Oh my gosh. Forge actually being made at the main base, which is probably not the best situation here for Paralyze. He cancels a ZeLoT there. And he's going to have to make some cannons right away if he wants to live through this. Zergling speed is almost done right now. Cannon gets started. This is so many Zerglings coming out. And in fact, as probe goes back, Zergling's passing it. Oh, yeah, you have to make sure you don't open up a hole in the wall, and you really need the cannon to finish. Oh, God, this is starting to go a little bit bad. Okay, he actually does get to pull these two ZeLoTs back, which is huge. Keeps that clogged, brings the probes up. If the cannon gets surrounded, you lose. Almost every single time. Let's see if he's actually... I think he's actually going to save the cannon here. Yeah, the cannon actually doesn't take damage. This was really good probe blocking, and in fact, the Overlord taking... I think the Overlord just barely backs out. But yeah, as more lings come in, you have to defend against those lings specifically. There are a lot of lings in here, but this is actually not over. A lot of times, oh god, he's going to end up losing that. Oh no, just barely not. But look at this. Even with these lings in here, the blocking from Paralyze is superb. A few speedlings get into the main base, which is obviously terrible. He might just need to start a cannon in there. More and more lings on the way. Ooh, that was an excellent drill as well. The probes actually come out to the front and fight the Zerglings for a moment there. Only 2 Zerglings left in the main base. And it looks like they're going to come up for a flank. Okay, I think here Paralyze actually thought the Zergling production was done. Unfortunately for him, it was not. And a few more Zerglings get in. He needs to build a cannon here. Honestly, anytime Zerglings get in, I feel like just make the cannon. Like, the cannon would basically be finished right now. Now he's easily forces cancels in this type of situation. And the ZeLoTs just can't catch those Zerglings here. By the way, drones being made at home. So ZeLoT is trying to transition here somewhat. If these can be cleaned up without killing a ton of probes, I think Paralyze is going to be pretty well ahead at this point. It's just such a low drone count for his opponent. But on 3 hatches, you can start to come back from that relatively quickly. But with the probe production that we still see, yeah, not sure that's going to be the case. Single Corsair is out. It would be awesome if he would send that across the map. Yep, now going to send it across. Zergling's still trying to find a little bit of damage here. I can't believe he still has just 1 cannon. I would panic and throw a second one down for sure. The Corsair going to finish off this Overlord. A few ZeLoTs going across the map. And, of course, that is going to force a few units. Ooh, the supply block hitting right now. With the... Oh, but look at this. The supply block hits, and he turns the ZeLoTs around. So I think he's looking at this saying, okay, I should have just forced him to stop making drones, but he actually didn't. ZeLoT did not stop making drones here. He is making some Overlords because he is supply blocked. He does have Hydralisk speed on the way, and yeah, I guess it is time for those Hydralisks to be made. So maybe phase 2 of this all-in. Speed Zerglings into... And in fact, that's a 3rd Corsair. Speed Zerglings into a Hydra bus. Not an uncommon play. You know, your economy is so badly hurt at this point as Zerg that you may as well go for the all-in. Well, I honestly, like, the Zerglings themselves were already pretty all-in, and they didn't quite do enough damage. They definitely needed more damage than they did. Paralyze's blocking of it, especially around the cannon, was very, very good. Now, the Corsairs actually get another Overlord. So we have another supply block here while ZeLoT is trying to prep for this Hydralisk bus. Let's count the actual drones. It's... Okay, he actually has more drones than a 3H Hydra build normally has, by the way. So I don't think it's actually turning into that at all. And in fact, look at this. He's getting +1 air against pure Hydralisk production with no layer, which is kind of funny looking, in my opinion. I would like to see him throw down more cannons, but it seems like he feels like he's okay at the moment. Templar Archives coming up. A lot of Hydras are being made. That 4th hatchery being made as well. There's going to be a significant amount of Hydralisks out here pretty soon as the supply blocks stop. Like, look at the amount of Hydras that are popping out of these eggs. Like, you just have to start a bunch of cannons. He starts 3 gates. He starts a couple more cannons. And he does have a pretty healthy amount of ZeLoTs in here. He does have that +1 attack. The ZeLoT legs are going to be finishing up as well pretty soon. So it's going to be really hard to break through because of that. He just needs a few more cannons. In fact, the ZeLoTs walk up and kind of around the Hydras. Those 2 going in the wrong direction, unfortunately. It looks like he wanted to have 4 go out and do a counterattack, maybe catch some Hydras that were on the way. A lot of cannons on the way. This is maybe the only timing that ZeLoT's going to have in this game. Paralyze's defense looks very, very strong at the moment. All right, he's going to start breaking down the wall. The Corsairs, yeah. Okay, you know what? This is just going so completely to Paralyze at this point. There is really not much left. Like, he has this one attack, and that's it. And this is not enough. Like, this is 18 Hydras. He is not going to break this many speed +1 Zealots. Psystorm is going to finish, and that's really just... That'll break him completely. More... Oh, my God. Look at this supply. 54 of 4. Looking absolutely terrible for ZeLoT here. Very cheesy, aggressive play. Now... I want to go back and look at this because I had a thought going on and then it turned into an all-in so quickly. It's a little bit beyond this. So, look. This is... I started talking about how I think Protosses are very good at this. So, see how he comes up, he does like one hit and he just turns around. And you do see this. I would say you don't see it from Zerg maybe quite as much, but you definitely see it a lot from Protoss in this matchup. You see it a lot from Protoss in Protoss versus Terran. You see it in Terran versus Zerg pretty often. I actually think it's something that Terran needs to do against Protoss more and more. And what I was trying to talk about here was like fake pressures where you walk out and you show the units like you're going to attack and then you simply turn around and you don't attack. I think that this is one of the strongest things in the game. And hear me out on this for a moment. Okay, I have to pause because like I really wanted to talk about this and we saw Zergling speed and pure Zerglings on the way. But think of it this way. Okay, like the game is balanced enough that at high levels, if you see something coming, you can stop it. Okay? So the theory behind moving out and then moving back is very, very good because you show them what's coming and then they prepare to stop it. So if they're going to prepare to stop it, they would stop it if you keep going, so you turn around. Now, they had to spend money to prepare to stop it. So there's no sense to do it. So that should build you a little bit of an edge. Whoever can pretend to be aggressive more and force their opponent into kind of a more defensive stance, and you see it especially against Zerg because Larva make both drones and units. That's why it's like most common against Zerg, but I think it's very good in all matchups. For instance, let me use Terran versus Protoss as an example. If you set up 5 factories and start to move forward a little bit and the Protoss sees you, they're going to make at least 6 gateways on 3 base. They're not going to be taking a 4th nexus right there. They might go up to 8 gateways. And you've kind of slowed them down from taking that additional base. And the thing is, if you attack, they probably are going to stomp it out. So it's best to just be like, no, I'm just going to expand now. So anyways, I think that these fake pressure types of plays, which we see most commonly in Protoss vs. Zerg, it's one of the most important strategic, tactical type things that you can do in StarCraft. So just wanted to mention that. Okay, anyways, kind of a one-sided game. Well, I guess not entire. Well, it looked one-sided there at the end, but, you know, the Zerglings got in. It was just very good blocking on this one cannon that was there. So great job by Paralyze. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. GG.